A business letter is professional. Formal letter is sent by one company to another. A business letter is the letter within a company. Example would include a letter from the boss addressed to the employees, a letter from the employees addressed to the boss, or a letter addressed to those outside of the company like the customers, clients, business partners in the world. They can be used for professional correspondence between business clients, stakeholders, and many other individuals within the business world. Within the workplace, the most useful communication is the business correspondence or business letter. Although business letters may be seen as an outdated concept because of emails and many other forms of electronic correspondence, they are still beneficial to a company or individual if utilized. The company or individual would be seen as one demonstrating a high level of professionalism and class. However, that depends upon how well they format the business letter and how well it is written. Nevertheless, writing a business is a very tedious task. Another meaning. A business letter is a type of letter which serves as a means of communication written for various commercial purposes. These purposes can be a business deal, complaint, warning, notice, invitation, declaration, information, apology, and various other corporate matters. Letters of business are the most popular and the most widely written types of letters. Business letters are also the oldest form of official correspondence and perhaps the propagators of mailing system. Here are the parts of the business letter. Heading or letterhead contains the company name, the address, or even the email address in addition to the cell phone number. Date line. Make sure to leave 2 or 3 spaces before proceeding to write out the date line. It indicates the date the letter was written. Inside address. It contains the name of the recipient as well as the job title. Make sure to leave 1 line or space before proceeding to write the inside address. Salutation or duty contains the word that would address the recipient such as sir, ma'am, or madam. It is typically followed by a comma or a colon depending on the level of formality. Make sure to leave 1 space or a line before proceeding to write the salutation. Here are the example. Letterhead, Island Graphics, 893 Dillingham Boulevard, Honolulu, HI 968178817. It is also known as letterhead. It consists of the name or number or fax number of the writer. Some people may use the address or logo of the organization, as the receiver needs to know who the sender is. This part of the business letter plays a significant role. Date line, September 13, 2000. The letter is incomplete without a date, so we need to write the date on the right-hand side top corner. It helps the receiver to understand when it happened, if it is an incident, or if it has a deadline to count the remaining days. It is essential in the parts of a professional letter, of course for any letter. Inside address, Mr. T. M. Wilson, Visual Concepts Enterprises, 1901, Haumoli Highway, Lihue, HI 96766. Salutation. Dear Mr. Wilson. Salutation is also termed as greeting or wishing. Before starting to write the content of the letter, the sender will greet the receiver based on their age and relationship. It may vary from one to another like respected sir, dear, hi, etc. Subject line. Before proceeding to write the subject line, make sure to leave 1 space or line. The subject line is a brief mentioning of the reason for writing the letter. Complementary clause. Before proceeding to write the complementary clause, make sure to leave 2 spaces or lines. The complementary clause should contain words like respectfully yours, regards, sincerely. Body. The body is in between the subject line and the complementary clause. Make sure to leave 1 line or space before proceeding to write the body. The body of the letter contains the message of the sender. It is divided into 3 parts: the opening or introduction, the main part, and then the concluding part. Here are the example. Subject line. Not required or in all letters. Efficiency explains purpose immediately. All caps below the salutation. A subject line specifying the topic of the letter, if included, comes between the salutation and the body of the letter. The introductory word subject may be used, but is not essential. The terms re and in re should be reserved for legal correspondence. The subject line is entered either entirely in uppercase or in boldface. It may begin flush with the left margin or the center of emphasis. It is not used in personal correspondence, where the subject is usually referred to in the first paragraph. Body. Paragraphs of the letter, usually at least three. Single space, not tab in, blank line between each paragraph. It is the heart of all the parts of the business letter. It is the main content that the sender needs to convey to the recipient. So it should be clear, straightforward, understanding, and also formal. The body of the letter is generally categorized into three parts. The first one is opening lines. The opening lines should be the introduction of the sender if new and formal greetings and wishes will be there in the first paragraph. Main content. The sender should write the actual message clearly in a formal way. It should be the main point that needs to be conveyed to the recipient. The message should be proper and complete. And the last one, closing part. It is the ending part of the body. Here the receiver can understand what the sender is expecting, what his action is, or the next step, to move, etc. This can be mentioned clearly. The concluding part should be in a polite way. Use some words to please the receiver in this part of the formal letter. Signature or writer's identification. Make sure to leave two spaces before proceeding to write the signature. This contains the signature, the full name of the writer, as well as the designation. The signature is handwritten above the sender's name. Enclosure. If there is a need or want in adding a document to the letter, make sure to leave one space or line and write ENCL once that is done when the document can be added. Another meaning, signature or writer's identification. Sign your name after a few spaces. If you have your printed name, then sign above the line containing your typed name. Signature is to written in black or blue ink. If you have an electronic signature, you can use that too. Scan image of your signature can also be used if it confers with rules of your organization. Enclosure. It is a part of a formal letter that may or may not exist for all a business letter. It is a process of enclosing the required documents. In the case of applications, invoices, registrations, offer letters, etc., the sender needs to attach the documents to the business letter. It is applicable for both soft copy and hard copy. If you have attached some documents, type enclosures few lines after the signature of sender's info. Here are the optional parts of a business letter. Attention line contains the name of the person in charge of the letter together with the job title. If the letter is going to a large company, an attention line can provide the bit of necessary emphasis you need so that the letter goes where it needs to go. Write attention and then the name of the recipient. For example, attention human resources. The attention line should go 2 lines below the recipient address. Copy circulation. The phase circulation provides a copy of the other departmental office for reference purposes. When writing this, make sure to write CC and then the name of the office where a copy of the letter was provided in order for the recipient to know who also has a copy of the letter. It is an option used to send to one or more recipients. It is mentioned in the letter with notation CC. It helps to convey the same message to multiple receivers. Postscript. A postscript can be added if there is additional information that the sender wants to relay to the receiver. Make sure to leave one space or line and then make sure to put PS in front of the message or information. PS stands for postscript. It comes from the Latin postscriptum, which literally means written after. A postscript is an additional thought added to the letters, and sometimes other documents, that comes after it has been completed. It is an additional part of a business letter. It is used to add extra information along with the body of the letter. Now let's move on in the types of business letters. There are many types of business letters. Here are 15 types that are commonly used within the business or work environment. Number 1. Cover letter. A business letter that is usually sent with a resume when applying for a job. Although it is not a requirement for all employers, it's a great opportunity for an individual to have one that explains personal experience, qualifications, and interests in the company and the job. A cover letter is a document sent alongside your CV when applying for jobs. It acts as a personal introduction and helps to sell your application. A cover letter is necessary as it gives you the chance to explain to an employer why you're the best candidate for the job. Number 2. Letter of recommendation. A letter of recommendation is written on behalf of another professional to verify or vouch for their qualification and work ethic. A letter of recommendation can strengthen an application for employment, higher education, or another professional opportunity. It strengthens the credibility of the professional's good work. Number 2. Letter of recommendation. A letter of recommendation is written on behalf of another professional to verify or vouch for their qualification and work ethic. A letter of recommendation can strengthen an application for employment, higher education, or another professional opportunity. It strengthens the credibility of the professional's good work. Just as the name says, a letter of recommendation is a letter that recommends a student, employee, or co-worker. It is also called as a letter of reference or LOR in short. When issued to a student, this letter helps the admission committee to know and understand more about the applicant. Number 3. Interview follow-up letter. Interview follow-up letter is a letter that the job applicant would send after interviewing for an open position to thank the interviewer for their time. It also demonstrates their interest into the job further. The purposes of the follow-up to an interview is to convey your thankfulness at being given an interview. In the opening paragraph, thank the interviewer for their time. Thank them for allowing you to learn about the position and the company. Number 4. Offer letter. An offer letter is an official offer of employment that describes the specific terms of the position. They should always include the following: job description, job title, requested start date, salary and benefits, acceptance timeline. An offer letter is a document that holds the terms of employment for a new hire. It includes the salary, benefits, and other important information that will help you determine whether or not you want to accept the job. Number 5. Sales letter. A sales letter is a letter that introduces a service or product to a client or customer. Sales professionals are usually the ones who often use these letters when making new contacts with possible buyers or to strengthen relationship with long-time clients. A sales letter is a form of direct marketing that designed to attract potential customers to your product or service. It tells new prospects who you are and how your company can benefit them. Number 6. Letter of commendation. A form of employee appreciation, and companies would send it out to the entire staff to congratulate on employee for their good work. They would usually include the purpose, details of commendation, and then call the action. Letters of commendation or commendation letters are messages written to express gratitude and general recognition for a special deed. They are usually unsolicited. In some cases, they offer rewards for the action being recognized, such as a promotion or pay bonus. Letters of commendation or commendation letters are messages written to express gratitude and general recognition for a special deed. They are usually unsolicited. In some cases, they offer rewards for the action being recognized, such as a promotion or pay bonus. Number 7. Letter of resignation. A letter of resignation is what an employee would send to their employer before leaving the company. This informs the employer of the intent behind the resignation. It is recommended that a resignation be addressed to the employer before leaving the company. A letter of resignation is an official letter sent by an employee to their employers stating their intention to leave their current position at the company. It includes the details about the last day of work and outlines any step for transition. Simply put, it's an official way of quitting. Number 8. Professional thank you letter. An important way to tell colleges, employers, vendors, or other business contacts know that their time and efforts are very much valued. Sending a thank you letter would build a harmonious relationship with the recipient. It would also communicate the sender's intentions for the future. Professional thank you letter is also referred to as a letter of thanks. A thank you letter is used when one person wants to express appreciation and gratitude towards the other person. A thank you letter can be classified into two types: personal appreciation letters and professional appreciation letters. Number 9. Complaint letters. Complaint letters are typically sent by consumers to businesses when they are dissatisfied with their service or product. Businesses may also occasionally need to write a complaint letter or on behalf of a company who is dissatisfied with the product. A compliment letter is a written communication used to raise your concerns with the product, service, or to address other types of grievances. The purpose of the letter is to address the problem and seek a productive resolution. Number 10. Apology letter. An important tool in the workplace that acknowledges a mistakes, expresses regret, and asks for the letter recipient's forgiveness or patience. Apology letters create a formal record of the sender admitting to or attempting to rectify or correct a mistake or failure. An apology letter is a written statement that you send to someone who has been deeply affected by what you said or did. Simply put, this letter is used to apologize to someone for a mistake. Number 11. Office memorandum, aka a business memo. A short but formal document used for communication between the business and its employees. These are usually brief and easy to navigate. They are primarily for internal usage. A memorandum or memo is used to communicate something of immediate importance to people within a business organization. A memo also can be sent to people or firms that have close or long-standing relationships, such as vendors or consultants. Like a business letter, a memo is a permanent record of your communication. Number 12. Welcome letter. Formal way of introducing a company or employee and provides basic information to the recipient. These letters use a welcome tone to help in establishing a greater working relationship. They include a warm greeting, personalized information, and important details to know about the business. A welcome letter is a personalized document that your hiring manager will send to new colleagues within your business. It should include all the details that new employees need to feel prepared and excited about starting work. You can send the letter through the email or via email. Number 13. Request letter. A way of formally asking for something in the workplace. One example or scenario of using a request letter would be requesting for time off or requesting for a raise. A request letter is typically written to draw the attention of the reader concerned to some particular demands or claims of the writer. It still remains one of the most standard and useful types of the letters written in a business work. The last is termination letter. A respectful yet effective way to dismiss an employee from their current job. Termination letters are also called a letter of separation, a notice of termination of employment, or contract termination letter. A termination letter being sent to an individual is what people would commonly call being fired. A letter of termination is a formal notice to inform an employee they will be dismissed from their current employment. A clear letter of termination can help the departing employee follow eternal HR policies, protecting the organization and helping ensure a smooth transition.